If you look at the public opinion polls, you see a majority of people in the United States favor the legalization of assisted suicide. Do you believe those polls? Do you think that's an accurate reflection of where people are?
I'm not sure. It's scary if it is. And if it is, I think it speaks to people's despair, collective despair.
I think that's true, and I think it's hard to understand how, for civilizations, we always treated suicide as a failure. If someone was up on the ledge, we wanted to talk them down, not ask them whether they had a good reason to jump or not. And yet now, after generations and generations of recognizing our need to help individuals cope with the temptation to take their own life, we're now enabling it. What do you make of Canada's headlong plunge into promoting assisted suicide, medical aid in dying, and even promoting it with the disabled, the mentally ill, and even young people? What does that say about Canada?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it says about their culture in general, but I mean, I think we're in really tricky territory when we start normalizing these things, or when we start packaging them as though we're taking care of people, right? Because I find there to be something a little bit perverse in that, you know?
Right. And they have these systems in place that are all there to be protecting you from some hasty decision, and they have healthcare professionals making that decision. But are they that disinterested?
Well, I think the scary bit for me in this is we're saying, okay, let's take a look at this person who has maybe some serious mental health issues or some serious health issues, and let's have someone else determine whether or not they are a candidate for assisted suicide. Okay, so that's a professional probably doing that. I mean, are we going to look at the professional's mental health? Because what I know about a lot of professionals is that they're very burnt out, they're very compassion fatigued, and yet they're forced to keep going. And one of the symptoms of that is desensitization, you know? So this is very scary to me.
Scary too if they're paid by insurers that may want them to deny care and save money. And so if you can always talk yourself into saying, oh, someone's better off dead. I mean, that's an argument made at the appearance level, but you see another group that fights back that's called Not Dead Yet. And their point is, my life is worth living. I don't care that you think it's not. It is for me. So the disabled community seems to be finding its voice now. When you look at the disability community and how they're now bringing their point of view, saying, wait a minute, you're going to deny us services at home, but then you'll fall all over yourself to give us a help in dying and killing ourselves. What does that mean? I think for the disability rights community, they recognize the target's now on their back.
And I think maybe this is a silver lining here, because we are seeing this focus on EDI and things like this, and empowerment in disability and around inclusion and things like that, and hearing their voice is great. So this is maybe a silver lining in this whole thing too.
Yeah, because I started off asking you about the opinion polls, but a lot of times the question is about how you ask the question. You know, saying, do you want to put someone out of their misery? Yeah, people would probably say, yeah, the poor people are suffering. If you say, what about addressing what's making them miserable? What's underneath their suffering? A lot of times it's loneliness, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's important we're having this discussion, because I think it's put out there almost like if you want to think critically about this topic, you're somehow not acknowledging these people's suffering, you know?
Right.
And that's completely misleading.
Well, that's why the group Compassion and Choices has hijacked the word compassion as part of its name, so that it can claim that what they're doing is the humanitarian and kind and caring solution to the problems of the depressed. And I think more and more states are starting to wake up to the fact that, sure, they want control, but they want it for themselves. They haven't thought about the poor. How do the poor exercise this so-called right to die when they're being told their life's a burden, their life's useless, they have no skills, they don't have technological competence? It seems to me this is almost like the equivalent of a push-pull, where you're framing the question in a way that's pushing people toward an answer in support of euthanasia.
Yeah, and I think the scary thing in this too is, you know, a lot of those people who are poor or marginalized or disenfranchised, a lot of the reasons for that are the societal failures, you know, from the start, the early childhood stuff, the ACEs, the early adversity, you know.
They were never given a chance.
Exactly. So we didn't take care of them at the start, and now we're kind of dismissing them at the end too and saying, we don't want to take care of you now.